Hello there, welcome to Plus Talk on Plus Life, where we're all about turning positive into a plus. And we've got some really, hopefully, positive news. There are news reports have been coming out about a new HIV vaccine trial. Here to break it down and tell us all about it, our Chief Medical Advisor, Dr. Seshadri. Good to see you, Doc.
It's great to see you.
So, is this exciting news?
I think it's very exciting. Here we have new technology that's been implemented with the COVID vaccine, and we are seeing it being trialed and tested on HIV.
Break it down in the most simplest form. What does this mean?
Hope, I would say, because it's just the phase 1 trial. It's an mRNA vaccine similar to the shots that we've already taken for COVID. And I'm hoping that it'll show some positive results. Obviously, there's about 50 participants that's participated in this trial, so we'll see where it goes, because previous vaccination trials that have been done on HIV, unfortunately, they've gone through the phases.
To phase 3,
phase
right?
3,
Yeah.
and then that's where it stops. Yeah. So.
And is that because HIV, the infection, is just so advanced and clever at sort of lynching onto the cells and quickly replicating?
Yeah, but it's also the process in which it replicates. It creates variants, right? And that's the part that's hard to target, is creating a vaccine that can neutralize all the different variants, or get to the vaccine or the virus ahead of time, before it starts to replicate and create those variants, deeming the vaccine unsuccessful or unreliable, right?
So when you have a vaccine trial like this, we're hoping that it's a positive result to stop HIV. Does that mean that the people who are part of the trial are going to be exposed to HIV potentially?
Hopefully not, unless they're exposed due to their lifestyle.
Right.
So what they hope to do is give a tiny bit of the virus, or something that's a particle that stimulates the immune system. It's called an immunogen, and they will inject that into these participants to see if the immune system
fires up
and then fights it or neutralizes that immunogen.
Right, so they're not going to inject people or give people HIV.
No, absolutely not, because that's immoral.
Well, it is immoral, but you kind of go, how do you do a vaccine for something and then test it and know that it's going to work?
And this mRNA technology is so advanced. It's being implemented, which is different from what we had before, because this is computer-based, and so you can actually implement, change, make modifications, make your boosters, anything that you need a lot quicker than what we had before. And it's a messenger RNA. You're sending a message into the body to instruct the body's immune system to rev up and create the antibodies that it needs to fight that particular virus.
It's the messenger. It's like, here's your alert, get to it.
Yes.
That's really interesting, and thank you, a really simple way to put it. It's been 40 years. 40 years people have been trying. How much, I know mRNA is this sort of term we hear a lot now, because you said because of COVID, but this was sort of in the pipeline pre-COVID, and it's sort of, COVID has borrowed from this. This is where HIV has actually helped with our current situation, right?
Absolutely, I would think so. And it's unfortunate that we couldn't implement it before, because the pandemic kind of took precedence at this point, but at least cross our fingers.
Who would have thought silver lining out of something as horrible as the pandemic? If this is successful, does that then open the door for a cure, do you think?
A cure is going to be a little bit more, I would say it's going to be a little bit more tedious or painstaking, because of the fact that of all those variants that we spoke about. How do you actually stop the virus and then kill the virus in itself?
Right.
As of right now, if you think about it, we don't have a cure for COVID. We don't have a cure for flu. We don't have a cure for herpes. We don't have a cure for viruses in general. We have medications that can slow down the viruses, stop the viruses from replicating. But unfortunately, our body is the only thing and has the information to kill viruses, or some of the viruses, like we talked about before. Herpes does not have a cure at this moment, right?
Right.
I'm not sure. I think that that's going to be a long time coming, but hopefully with new improvements in technology and science, I wouldn't put it past us to find a cure.
It's definitely good news,
Yes.
this vaccine. It's definitely a positive. So something we can have hope for. Maybe not get excited about, but have hope for. I think that's a really clear, important message. I just want to ask one last question before we wrap things up. We've now all gotten used to hearing about different strains. We know, different strains of COVID. I saw a headline last week that said there is a new strain of HIV out that is kind of a super strain. Mm-hmm. Should we be worried? I think I read it was sort of in Amsterdam, Holland was where it was localized. What do you know about that? Is that something that comes to America? Do I have to be worried as an HIV positive person that I could sort of reinfect myself and it could play chaos?
Yeah, just like the Alpha, Delta, Omicron strains, this particular strain is named the VB variant, or the VB strain from the Netherlands. Yes, it is more infective. Yes, the viral load, unfortunately, that we're seeing is as soon as a person gets infected, spikes up by 3.5 to almost 5.5 times what other variants have been seeing. The CD4 count plummets, making people that are infected with this strain more susceptible to converting to AIDS,
right,
or
getting sick
with something else.
Right.
But I have to say, this is the big but, is all the medications that are out there have been proven to be effective against this strain. But it also just highlights, just with everything else, the importance of continuing to get tested, taking the preventative measures that we have, such as PrEP, going to your doctor, depending on your lifestyle, really getting tested on a regular basis, and just keeping up with your general health. Yeah, taking good care of yourself. Dr. Anu Seshadri, I always love it when you come in. It's so good to see you. That is going to do it for this episode of Plus Talk. Exciting, hopeful news in our future, and certainly in the way of possible vaccine for HIV. That is all the time we've got. Remember, you can check us out on the website, pluslifemedia.com, and be sure to follow us on social media. We are at Plus Life Media. Until next time, it's bye-bye from the doctor and I. Spread the love. Happy Valentine's Day.